Hello and welcome to episode 33 of Trade Talks Unlocking the Experience. Today I'm joined by two of my very special friends and industry experts, Larsen and Paul Silliman. Lane is the founder of Clean Claims. He's built and sold four different mitigation and restoration companies, and I can stop, but I'll let him go when he gets on here. And then for Paul, he is the head of sales and customer success with Clean Claims, and he specializes in supporting businesses and streamlining operations. So without further ado, please welcome Lane and Paul.
Thanks, Kayla.
Yeah, thanks for having us
Welcome.
on.
About time, right? About time,
Right?
long overdue. I kept your intros very short and sweet because, well, I know a lot about you both, but I also think it's nice when we hear from you guys, who you are, how you got here, because not everybody knows our story, right? They see us as, for you guys, they see you as Clean Claims, right? But I love to humanize who we are and what we do. So Lane, what is something about you and how did you get here in this industry and what made you create Clean Claims?
Oh man. So I've been in construction my whole life. Grew up doing that. I cleaned job sites from the time I was 8 years old up. I've done everything from framing to plumbing to you name it. If it has to go into a house, I've probably done it. So I got into restoration in 2007, 2008 when the economy tanked. I was working with my brother-in-law in construction, and sad thing is he ended up losing his whole company, bankruptcy and all that. And so he had a connection in restoration out of Arizona that kind of told us about it. And then he's the one that got me involved. He's just like, hey, I found this thing called restoration. I was in just started college at the time or whatever. And it was like, hey, I got this new thing. And I was like, sweet, sounds cool. And so I ended up moving down to Vegas to help build that location and just started figuring it out. So Barry Costa was my first instructor. If you know Barry, the godfather of restoration. And so at least that's what I've always called him. And anyway, he was my first WRT class and just kind of started from there. And then I ended up branching out. My brother-in-law bought me out of my side of the business in Vegas. And then I ended up starting, three different other locations after that. While I was in college, so I was a glutton for punishment. I was at an internship and running a business full time by myself. So that was a fun semester for sure. So anyway, that's how I got into the space, and so worked every position that there is, and that's what's been fun about building businesses that I like is learning the ins and outs of everything. I love problem solving. It's my favorite, and that's kind of how Clean Claims came about too, is when we were going to start franchising my company. It was built originally, Clean Claims before it was Clean Claims was built for my company, just to all the problems that I was having in the industry and, all the back and forth. So that's kind of a little background on me where it came from. So that's how I got into restoration. So yeah.
Well, and the rest is history. I'll definitely say we're usually thrown into this space unless you've grown up in it, right? Like, man, I look at a lot of people that I've talked to, and I would say a majority of us now are starting to say, hey, we just kind of stumbled upon this industry. And like, the rest is history. We've just found our calling here. My story is very similar as I just happened to find a job in this space. And then, yeah,
Right.
I've just been here. Paul, what about you?
Yeah, no, it's funny you say that. I don't know if I've ever met anyone who was like, yeah, I found a job. I willingly got into restoration. I think everybody stumbles into it. I
Seriously.
was the same. I was working at a sporting goods store for a city of Winter Springs Parks and Recreation, cutting grass, was coaching high school baseball. And I had a buddy that was like, why are you working three jobs? Come work with me at this restoration company. We'll give you 100 hours. Did I actually realize they meant 100 hours? Not at the time, but that's what it ended up being. So yeah, I kind of stumbled into it, started as a water technician in the field, was on call for, God, I think a year straight, something of that nature. Um, then got into, project management, estimating. Then I changed companies, ran a mold department and large loss before kind of going on to the insurance carrier side, working for Liberty Mutual Safeco as a cat adjuster, and then frontline insurance, a couple others before working at Royal Plus, doing some large loss catastrophe work. Before stumbling kind of onto the software side with know-how, and then, getting to know Lane at the traveling circus that is our industry's trade shows. We always had a running joke of like, at one point in time, these softwares are going to solve some problems and we can go start a restoration company. And, the more I kept digging into it, the more it just hit home of like, yeah, these are issues I ran into. Every production meeting I ever had was, do you have these photos? Did you get these readings? Did you get a work off signed? All the simple things that you can do everything right, but if you don't have it, we can't get paid for it, which always led to some very unproductive Wednesday morning meetings that nobody wanted to go to. So seeing how this software solved a lot of those problems, it was just an easy thing that's like, yeah, this is an everyday tool that I would use. So just kind of stumbled into it like everyone else. And then you kind of hit that point of once you get your knowledge base up so high, you're like, I really don't want to go into manufacturing or putting roofs on or something like that. And you kind of find a home and then it grows from there.
Yeah, for sure. And I will definitely say too, you guys have such unique backgrounds, right? You guys were on the ground, right? You guys were in the field. And so when it comes to the software side of things, it's unique, right? Because you guys know where the gaps are. You also know when you guys are getting feedback, what you guys need to do, how you guys need to handle that. I think that's so unique, right? Because there's all this software out there, and eventually everybody's going to utilize one or another, along the way. And you know, watching you guys and seeing you guys just like implement things and do all the things that you guys do is just so amazing because I'm like, wow, what do they do in their off time? Do they have off time, right? Because you guys literally, Paul, to your point, like, yeah, they told me I could work 100 hours, but like, really, I was working 100 hours. Like, I literally feel that's how we are every day. And, just hearing the importance of software and what it can do for our industry and what it's already doing, right? I think that's the other thing is it's already making a huge impact. Like I can't wait to see what you guys come out with next. Honestly, I think I had a conversation with Lane in April. And we were just talking about how often you guys are updating your software or like making changes. And it's like astronomical. Like it's a ton. And I don't think people understand that side of things. And it was nice just to have that conversation, right? Like you guys are always working, right? You're always taking feedback. And that's something that we need in this industry because it's ever evolving. I mean, before we hit record, we were talking about it's storm season, right? But it's not hitting like we thought. And then there's places that are being affected, unfortunately, that we didn't really see it coming. And then not even to mention there's fires going on in California again, right? Like there's just so many things happening at this time, but yet you guys still have to function as a company and make these changes. Like that's crazy. I don't know how you guys do it. You guys are a great team, but I digress on that. What makes you guys push to like advance your guys' software, enhance your collaborations like on a daily basis? We were just talking like, oh, I don't have anything planned right now. Today's Monday. But actually I do have something planned. So like what like motivates you guys like and like just makes you love what you do, right?
Oh man, am I going first? You want me to go, Paul?
I'll start this one off because it's
All
funny
right.
you mentioned that because I have a perfect example. But because we were in the field and we were doing this job, you're always on call. There's always something coming on. Like a perfect instance is Saturday morning, day after 4th of July. I was on a call with, Chris at Action Restoration, who's helping a client of ours as well that had a 3-story apartment condo loss they got. So I was helping set up the job within Clean. We know this isn't a 9 to 5 industry. So it's for us, it's easy. It's just like, hey, you got a big job. Great. Let's hop on a call. Let's get it set up. Let's start rolling through it. What your drying chamber looks like. What are you doing here? What your, equipment load that's going. It's just normal for us. And for us, it's just every day. Now, luckily, we have phenomenal developers that work for us that know how to do this stuff because I can tell you right now, when it comes to off days, I've mapped out my local grocery store more times than I can tell you. My wife hates going with me now because the first thing I do is I start looking at the cubic footage and start pulling my phone out and start mapping things out. And she's like, I'm not doing this again. But that's how we're wired. We don't shut off because we know, yeah, it's sunny and 80 degrees today, but a week from now we could have a hurricane coming on us or something could be going on. So Perk and negative, our brains never turn off from this industry, but it's, we know our clients are working all the time, so are we. We're always
Mhm.
available. We always want to make sure our clients know that they have fellow restorers on the other side of the software that are there to give support and help at all times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was well said, man. I was not anticipating all of that, but I knew you were gonna hit me with some greatness. But I will say, like, to your guys' point, right? Like you guys are in preparation mode. I will definitely say with you guys are always preparing, right? Regardless of if it's helping your consumer directly or if it's like you guys know when the seasons are happening, does this work? Should we enhance this? I think that's what's so cool about you guys in particular. Um, but I will also say you guys are very human too. We always, when we see each other, we always make sure we hug each other and just see how everybody's doing. And that's very unique too because your brain doesn't shut off, but your humanization doesn't shut off either. And that's I really appreciate that about you guys. Lane, do you have anything to add to what Paul just said?
My problem is obsessed, like relentlessly obsessed. Like it's been fun building the software for my own company and then building it out now, but the obsession is it's never enough for me. Like it can always be better. And that's my obsession is just perfecting it. Like it was great that it works. And when we were beta testing this, I'd always tell clients, you don't need to feed my ego. I know it's good where it's good, but I need to know where it sucks. And I need you to break it. And so going out to all these trainings with clients, and now I'm going out to Florida again. And just my obsession is getting in with clients and testing it to the max. And really, the devil's in the details, right? Doing little things well makes big things come to pass. And so my obsession is just making it simple and easy. And as simple and easy Clean Claims is, it's still not simple enough to me. I'm obsessed with, but that's what makes it fun working with our clients and where we're more human is we're probably one of the only software companies that goes out on job sites with our clients and CAD events and you name it, we'll show up and do it because Paul and I, that's our background. So it's like I'm hauling up fans with clients doing it as we're training and so yeah, it's more just again back to just the obsession. I don't know why. I'm a glutton for punishment, I guess, or I don't know what it is. It's hard to explain, but I'm definitely obsessed with what we do. So it's that, but that makes it fun, you know.
And I would definitely say to your point, like you want to see where there's potential pain points, whether it's you, like you said, lugging equipment, or if you're in the field with somebody and they're trying to do something that's not working right, right? So you guys can see it firsthand, understand what's going on, and get with your team to make sure that they fix these bugs or issues, or maybe add something. Maybe somebody says, "Oh, hey, have you ever thought about doing this?" I mean, you guys are always working, and that's one thing that I really appreciate because I'm sure the last time that I saw it in action, it's changed. I know it has, right? And like to your guys' point, I think 2 weeks ago, you guys were just at a large loss event with Leanne and Chris, and it's great to see that type of stuff because not only that, it's not just for one specific person. It's for a variety of companies who are out there trying to better themselves with training and they're actually able to utilize the software there. And I think that's really important too. It's a hands-on aspect. And maybe somebody there says, "Hey, what have you thought about adding this?" I mean, just that one little idea could take you guys to the next level. And that's what's really cool about, seeing and hearing everything that you guys are doing truly. Um, so I think everybody knows you're speaking at the experience, right? Paul, you have your own session. Lane, you're co um collaborating. And I just want to know, what does it mean for you guys to have the opportunity to speak at the experience? And, what is it that you hope people gain, but also what do you hope people admire to do, right? I think some people in our industry think like, oh, I can never speak at an industry event, right? Like maybe they're nervous or maybe they think they don't have something to offer. But everybody has something to offer. And I just kind of wanted to pick your guys' brains. I think Paul, this is your first time speaking at the experience. Lane, you've spoke before, but not all experiences are the same. So, what do you want people to take away? What does it mean to speak at the experience? And what do you hope to inspire others to do?
Paul, my
Lane,
first, you first.
you go first. I took the last one.
Okay. Well, the experience is an awesome event, especially in Vegas. It's such a big event. It's such a great location. There's so much to do. So many people come. And I look at going to the experience, just being there. You know that something's going to happen. It's like that's what Paul and I talk about it all the time. It's like you show up somewhere, you're going to learn something, right? So it's really kind of looking at and being selfish for yourself. Don't be embarrassed. Like you should go to like learn. There's so much to learn and do. There's so many people that speak. There's so many smart people in the industry. It's just a cool event to get together and really focus on how to better the industry and what's coming out, what's the latest and greatest. Like, for us, like we love to always speak and show because it just makes the event that much better. It always brings traffic to the booths that we're at. I've spoke like every year at the Flood House, which has been fun to show off like how our remote monitoring works and all those fun aspects. But it's really just educating and showing. Part of my obsession with what we do is I don't feel like we're trying to sell people on our product. Everybody's trying to sell and upgrade to like this software's this, and we've been overpromised a million different things. What I love about our software is it is what it is. It just does what it's supposed to do. If you've got problems with, like Paul, listed before, technicians taking photos, taking notes, doing what they're supposed to, taking readings, now they're forgetting and having to go back out. Just the basic day-to-day stuff. If you have that problem, like we solve that problem. But what I love is that don't take our word for it. It's like literally we'll show you how it works. Like we do live demos with it. And that's what's fun about the experiences, all the different events. I mean, I've gone with clients in previous experiences, like up to hotel rooms, mapping out their rooms in like 5 minutes of just training them, showing them, like we've gone into the big, huge, like areas that everywhere Vegas has and done like mapping, kind of like, Paul's saying going into grocery stores. So it's super fun to just hand it to clients and let them use it with like zero training and it just works. So that's my, again, another obsession is just, it does what it's supposed to do, but you can literally do it without any training. I mean, it's that basic and simple. So that's what we love to highlight and show, along with the remote monitoring as well. Having our Wi-Fi routers hooked up on the other side of the casino, and they're still connecting over to the flood house. And then I got other clients that are tapped into the Wi-Fi routers using our Wi-Fi because the internet's Wi-Fi sucks or whatever it is. So it's so cool to just show it. And so being there in person, I think it's just because we're contractors and all of us come from kind of that similar background, is that Zoom calls are great and fun, but like the in-person experience is so much better and fun. So that's why I like going. It's just there's a lot of different aspects of it.
Awesome. Paul?
Yeah, I'm super excited to be speaking. I've gone to the experience for 3 or 4 years now. So it's for me to be able to speak is exciting, but also the session I'm going to be doing is just a different perspective on the training. Because, I've spent the last couple of years at Know How implementing with teams all across North America and now doing it with Clean Claims. I've seen a lot of problems to where software can solve problems, but if it never gets off the ground and your team never uses it, what are you doing? You
Hmm.
bought an empty promise, or, you know, I found a couple different ways that a lot of our clients are using Clean Claims to where, how do I get this off the ground? Whose roles and responsibility? How do we implement this? But then also to Lane's point, that's the fun thing about the experience. Even the one we were at in South Florida earlier this year, we had the flood house going, we had our remote monitoring sensors going, we had our moisture sensors going. And a small story on that, they built the stage the day before it started. We got everything wet. We came in the next day and everyone's getting ready to start, and I had to go grab guys and be like, "Hey, I don't know if you guys looked at the readings. This HVAC system's already dried the floors out." So we actually can show the data in the spike where we had to dump bottles of water on the floor to get it wet again to do the demonstrations. But it's all that live time data that, this industry has come a long way as far as tech goes, but we're still a touch and feel industry. So to be able to actually show someone like, I'm probably going to go grab a handful of DHUs from the expo floor and bring it into the presentation room and actually show how to set it up and how the readings work live and actually touching it and feeling it and give some takeaway tips that aren't just a PowerPoint that everyone's watched. It's like, no, regardless if you buy our software or our remote monitoring or not, take this home to your guys and actually implement this and
Hmm.
actually make a change or try something new. Because that's the fun part about the experience. Since there's so much stuff that you can touch and feel and look with the flood house and all that, you can actually experience it versus, yeah, I saw a great slide deck and then I sat through four more and then I kind of forgot the momentum from it. And then I get home and can't remember anything. No, here's some physical stuff I can take away and try with my team. And that's where we're super excited to be there, and also why the experience is a great event.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I was a past attendee and exhibitor right before I came on to R&R, and this was one of my favorite events to attend, honestly, just because of the dynamics, right? Not just in classroom style sessions, but hands-on, right? And just being able to look, touch, and feel things too, it makes a difference. And I also, in my mind, is like, okay, when we're having people come in out of the field, right? Because let's be real, we're bringing people out of the field, like they're leaving their job to attend these events, and I want them, to your point, to walk out and be like, "Hey, guys, let's get on a call. We can implement this now." And or they're taking excessive notes because I think we have seen those times it's death by PowerPoint, unfortunately. And how can we make it different? How can we make it more unique? Personally, I think 3 to 5 slides is good enough, right? Your topic, who you are, who you work for, how to contact you, like those types of things are great, right? But when you're going in and getting the involvement of those who are attending, it makes a difference, right? Because then they have their buy-in, but they're also able to ask you questions, right? Whether it's particular to their business or an instance, they're able to get that feedback. And let's say maybe somebody hasn't used the Dehu yet. Maybe there's somebody sitting in that session. It's their first time coming into an event and they've never seen the equipment or been told how to set it up, right? Like those are the things that we have to remember too. We have people from all over in their career, brand new. Maybe they're coming from a different industry. People who have been in the industry for 10 years, 20 years, what have you, but everybody has something to learn. And that's really why I love to talk to you guys about like what does it mean to you? What would you like to make sure people walk away with? And that's what this is all about, right? Like Lane, you even said when we go to these events, we still learn something. Just showing up is like the main part of it is just show up because one, you never know who you're going to meet. Two, you could advance the technology or software that you offer, or even enhance your business in some way, shape, or form that you couldn't even think of, right? And that's what this is all about. And it's Vegas, right? It's my stomping ground. So like, welcome to my home. Vegas is always a great show. I hope it's not super hot, but I look forward to this year is event just in general, right? Like I always look forward to them, but like having you guys talk about two completely different things is really cool too, right? Because I think when people see people from the same company speaking, they're like, oh, maybe they're talking about the same thing, but you guys are talking about two completely different topics. And that was really important to us, right? When we were talking about like, hey, what are we talking about and all that? I mean, we worked together. This wasn't like, hey, I'm throwing this out there. Like we work together on these things. And I think it's so fun because of the involvement that we have with one another, right? We're putting thought and effort to those who are coming and attending. And, I'm excited to see and hear what you guys have to talk about. Like I'm not probably ever gonna set equipment, but I might, you never know. I might in a couple years, I might. I see some large loss training in my future and maybe I will set equipment and what can I learn from that session in particular. Yeah, I'm super excited. Paul, I think you open up um for us, and I think Lane, you're on the next session on the general track. So you guys are both on opening day, which is super exciting, right? Like, and then you're gonna get to probably see clean claims in action at the Restoration Pavilion, right? You just never know.
No,
Yeah.
and that's the really exciting thing about the lineup we have this year is like you said to your point, you always learn something new. We're very involved with Chris and Leanne at Global Catastrophe Training. It's awesome. People get to use our software. We get to learn from it. But I spent most of my career working in residential. So I learned something every time I'm out there. I didn't run large scale desiccants and run all this distro and power and stuff. I learned something new every time I'm there. I've been in the industry 10 years and I'm still picking up nuggets. So the fact that you have Chris Carter speaking on a large loss panel, the fact that, I'm going to be giving something that if you're a multi-location, great, this could implement. But if you're brand new, this is a great thing to implement. Because like, to your point, I have met numerous clients at the experience who just started the week before. Like, hey, we just filed our, we just got incorporated. We just got it. We don't even have a logo yet. And they're just getting their toes dipped in versus, yeah, we got a guy that's doing $100 million in large loss all in the same room. So if you come with an open mind, there is a wealth of knowledge that is going to be at this show. And there's going to be a lot of really big topics talked about from not just the gurus, but the people that are in the field doing it. So don't be afraid to grab someone, ask a question. I know Lane and I are we don't stand still in these presentations. We're restorers, we're ADHD. We're going to be walking around, talking, doing things. We want it to be, if someone ever falls asleep in my class, it's because they probably had one too many. It had nothing to do with the presentation, but we want it to be interactive. We want you to take something away from it because that's what we did when we worked in the industry. I don't want to sit here and look at a slide deck. I want something that's useful. So that's something we always go out of our way to do, but also with the cast of people that are going to be speaking, a lot of knowledge that's going to be thrown around. So don't be afraid to approach one of those people. Ask them a question.
Well, it's
Yeah.
funny is these events too are getting used to us because we don't ever, they're like, hey, send us your PowerPoint presentation. I'm like, I don't do PowerPoint presentations. It's all live. We do it in person, real, and show it, which is like breaking the golden rule of software is you don't do it live just in case. We're like, no, we always do it live. It's better because it's again, being from the industry. I've been sold, and I always bring this up. I'm like, how many of you guys, I have people raise their hand, have been sold on a great PowerPoint presentation. It was perfect. And then you go out to use it in the field and it doesn't work. I'm like, I have. Like, and so it's like getting away from that, being from the industry. It's like, we're not gonna show that. This is how it works. This is what it is, and it's gonna be live. And then that's what's fun is the interaction too, like versus just sitting there falling asleep with the lights dimmed. Paul knows I'll probably yell at a guy if he was like passed out or something, or go up and slap him on the face or something. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. But we always try to
No,
make
just
it fun and
hover.
interactive
Just
is the
hover.
point. If I know him, I probably will slap him. So it'll be, we'll see.
I would definitely say, right? It's like you just kindly tap on them or just hover and then they wake up and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, you're like
Yeah, put
exhibit
the
A, why you
microphone
won't
in their
fall
mouth, let
asleep.
them breathe. Like, hey, hey. Uh,
So we've kind of talked about a ton who you guys are, where you guys come from, who's Clean Claims, right? Who you are, what you guys do and your sessions. But let's humanize us for a little bit here. In Lane, I always ask people what is a fun fact about themselves. It can be professional or personal, that you want to share that maybe people don't really know about you.
Fun fact. Oh man, I know you asked me this earlier, and I was trying to think of something that's a fun fact. I don't know. Um, I guess a fun fact would be back in college, I used to work for a transport company, so I was the muscle when I was playing college football, weighed 290 pounds. I was in charge of the muscle of like helping get people to facilities that they needed to go to, and if they fought or did anything, I was the one that had to handcuff them, throw them down, and carry them places, I guess. There's a fun fact that not a lot of people know about me is I used to kind of be a bodyguard, I guess,
I
in a
did not
way.
know that
I
about
don't
you.
know. Yeah,
That is
there
very
you go.
interesting. So no, anybody watching and listening, do not mess with Lane because he knows the tactics, okay? Paul, what about you?
I'll follow in kind of the same line as Lane. I played college baseball, coached high school baseball for a couple years, but one of my first couple jobs I had was same thing, working security for like the Orlando Magic Arena and UCF football. And everyone in restorations all had those jobs where you're like, oh God, what am I doing? It was the same thing. I think UCF had one of their first like top five upsets, and they grabbed me, put me on the field, and they're like, all right, with all the cops, they're like, you're going to tackle people. I'm like, I'm making 625 an hour right now. Like, I'm no, I don't have no intentions of being on the news for any of this or, any of that. I think probably the other fun thing too that I always highlight is, I had your typical come into the industry moment. The day I interviewed, I was in like slacks and a button down, and the owner of the Paul Davis I worked at was like, all right, go ahead and hop on the truck. Ended up ripping out laminate floors in 5 bedrooms in like slacks and a button down. The homeowner must have thought, like, who is this guy? What is he doing here? Like, did they find him on the way in? So it was very much just like hop on or get off. It's just
Yeah.
normal, typical restoration, just go and go and go. But yeah, yeah, I don't think I quite had the background Lane did because on when I worked security, it was like I said, they were paying us pennies on the dollar, so there was not a whole lot of high level interaction there. It was just all right, go. No, no, they're not paying me enough to care about that.
Well, now there's so much liability too, right? Like
Oh yeah.
there's a lot of liability. So 625 and liability. I'm gonna say, please don't do that. And if you run by, you run by. I mean, hey, I did my job. I tried.
Just drop your shoulder if you're close enough, Paul. Just,
You know, it ran through my mind, but I'm like, don't have healthcare right now. This might get a little
Well,
fun,
and if you played baseball and you coached, like that's also a thing, right? Your body has to be healthy, right? And those are the other things that you think about too, right? Like this one decision could impact something else that I do in my life. And so, us as athletes, there are some decisions that you have to make, right? Like, hey, maybe I shouldn't do that. Like if I want to have a career here or continue what I'm doing. So that's very interesting that you guys both share a similar background. So again, don't mess with the Clean Claims team. They
Now,
know.
I am going to flip the script on you right now. What
Okay.
is a unique fact or a unique restoration memory that you have?
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, that's a good question. So fun fact about me, I played college basketball, but I also coached and ref the youth sports, both in softball and basketball. And for restoration, ooh, a memory. Um, a memory that I do have is probably in my beginning of my career, when I was kind of pressed to see if I knew this space. Um, and the person that was talking to me was like really super upset, and like I let them rant or whatever. And I said, "Okay, I've heard you now. Will you listen to me?" And like that was like a pivotal moment in my career, was just like give respect and then show people what you know. Um, and I think I still do that fairly well. And I will definitely say that gave me a lot of pride and courage and love for this space, because I was challenged, but I also was confident in what I knew. And if I don't know something or I didn't know something at the time, I would say, hey, I don't know that, but I can find somebody who does know it, right? Because we don't know everything. And I also think that that moment in my career got me to where I am today, if I'm being quite honest.
That's
Good
awesome.
question, though. Yeah, that's a good question. Not a lot of people know about fun fact, Kayla, and personal stuff, or really memories that I have in this space, right? I've been in this space for 10 years too, Paul. So, we've seen a lot in 10 years, but we have a lot to learn too. And Lane, how many years has it been for you? Almost
Y'all,
20, yeah?
I was knee deep in like for 14 years running my companies and stuff and building them, and then it's still to this day. So I'm pushing probably closer to 20 years now, I guess. Yeah.
Well, you don't look a day over 30, so.
Oh, that's BS, but thanks.
Hey, age is just
That's
a
why I
number.
have white hair in my beard and I'm starting to bald. I'm getting receding from all this. So yeah.
Hey, age is just a number, truly. I think one thing I will say about our industry is no matter the age, we all respect one another and are always learning from one another. But, thank you guys for coming on and chatting with me today. I really appreciate it. Learned some fun facts about you guys. I'm super excited to see you guys take the stage in the fall. And, thank you guys all for tuning in. This was Trade Talks Unlocking the Experience, and we will see you on the next episode. Take care.